Staying in the jet space, let's talk about the biggest deal in aviation history, the Air India deal. We told you about this yesterday, but we want to discuss it again today because so much has happened since, and there's so much to be told. This is the mother of all aviation deals. Air India is an Indian carrier, now a private Indian carrier. It has placed a massive order. It is buying 470 planes in one go. A lot has been said about the potential of this deal and what it means for Air India and its rivals. But tonight, I want to focus on a different aspect, on what this deal means for India, what it says about India's position and stature, about the rise of India as an economic power and the global impact of homegrown brands. Let's start with the basics. Why is Air India doing this, buying 470 planes at once? Because it wants to be the comeback kid. The airline was founded by the Tatas in the 1930s. It was India's flagship international carrier. It was nationalized in the year 1953, controlled by the government for nearly 7 decades, which led to the downfall of the airline. By the end of it, it became a liability. Air India had a giant pile of debt, and government bailouts became an annual offer. The service was poor, to say the least. The privatization of the beleaguered airline was long pending. The Modi government finally did it. Bids were invited. The Tatas came out on top. Last year, they took back control of Air India, and now they're trying to turn it around. The airline will have a new fleet of planes, 250 from Airbus, 220 from Boeing, 470 planes in all. It is an ambitious bid to take on the best in the business, the likes of Emirates and Qatar Airways. The scale of the deal is massive, and its impact goes well beyond the Indian skies. Yesterday, 4 world leaders weighed in on this deal. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi, French President Emmanuel Macron, British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, and finally US President Joe Biden. Prime Minister Modi and President Macron met virtually. Prime Minister Sunak and President Biden released statements. But they were all talking about one thing, the impact that this order from India will have on their economies. I'll start with President Macron. He talked about what France has achieved with India.
Once again, this achievement shows that Airbus and all its French partners, including Safran, are fully dedicated to develop new areas of cooperation with India, and we've achieved so much with India. I mean, in a wide range of sectors, from space to cyber, from defense to culture, from health to energy transition, and now we have the historic opportunity to go much further, given the potential of Indian and the Indian people.
Macron spoke about the potential of India. The statements that followed underscored this, like the one from Rishi Sunak. He emphasized on how the deal will create jobs in the UK. Look at what Sunak said on Twitter. With wings from Broughton and engines from Derby, this deal will support jobs around the country. The official statement from London gave more specifics. And I'm quoting again, the wings will be designed in Filton and assembled in Broughton, which is expected to bring an additional 450 manufacturing jobs and more than £100 million of investment to Wales. £100 million is around $120 million US. The same statement calls India, quote unquote, a major economic power. You could say the revenge on the Raj is now complete. A British Prime Minister of Indian origin hailing an Indian company for creating jobs in the United Kingdom. The Americans are grateful too. Look at what Joe Biden said about this deal. And I'm quoting again. The purchase will support over 1 million American jobs across 44 states, and many will not require a 4-year college degree. Again, an American president highlighting how a deal with India will benefit Americans. When did you last hear something like this? Biden also spoke with Prime Minister Modi over the phone. Later, the White House press secretary briefed the media.
The president spoke with the Prime Minister of India earlier today. They discussed the historic agreement for Air India to purchase over 200 American-made aircraft from Boeing. President Biden noted how the sale will support over 1 million American jobs across 44 states and help Air India meet growing demands for air transportation in India.
Again, the emphasis is on jobs. What about India? What are the gains for the Indian aviation sector here? India aspires to become an aviation hub, especially for maintenance and repairs. Yesterday, Prime Minister Modi said India's aviation sector is ripe for expansion.
निकट भविष्य में भारत एविएशन सेक्टर में विश्व का तीसरा सबसे बड़ा मार्केट बनने जा रहा है। कई आकलनों के अनुसार भारत को अगले 15 वर्षों में 2000 से अधिक विमानों की आवश्यकता होगी। आज की ऐतिहासिक घोषणा इस बढ़ती मांग को पूरा करने में सहायक होगी। भारत की मेक इन इंडिया, मेक फॉर द वर्ल्ड विजन के तहत एरोस्पेस मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में अनेक नए अवसर खुल रहे हैं।
Air India's comeback coincides with the rise of India. It highlights India's growing economic might and its influence on the world at large. To Air India, we say, good luck. It's time to take on the world.